Hello students, in this class of business statistics, I will be discussing about the uh, classification of statistical data. In our previous class, we already discussed about there are two types of methods of classification, that is qualitative classification and quantitative classification. Qualitative classification is again divided into two parts: classification according to dichotomy and manifold classification. Then quantitative classification is numerical facts are classified on the basis of class intervals. The smallest and the largest numbers, keeping in consideration the data, are classified into two different groups as per the convenience. For example, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. Then we come to another point, that is class limit. The two values which determine the limits of a group are called class limits. The first value or lower value is called lower limit, whereas the second value or higher value is called upper limit. Lower limit is expressed by symbol small l1 and the upper limit is expressed by symbol small l2. Suppose we take the example 10 to 20, 10 to 20, then in this example 10 is the lower limit and 20 is the upper limit. Magnitude of class interval. The difference between the upper and lower limit of a class group is called magnitude of class interval. It is expressed by the symbol small I. The small I is equal to small l2 minus small l1. So if we take the example, the class limit is suppose 155 to 160, then the magnitude is 5. Then we come to another point, that is mid value or midpoint. The central place of a class group is called the mid value or midpoint or central size. It is obtained by dividing the sum of both the limits by 2, that is small l1 plus l2 divided by 2. In that case 10 plus 20 divided by 2 is 30 divided by 2 amounts to 15. So the mid value of 10 to 20 series is 15. Now we come to another term, that is class frequency. In numerical classification, it is necessary to know the number of observations or number of items included in a particular class group. The number of such units is called number of items or the frequency of that class. Now, how we obtain the frequency distribution? Tallies or tally bars are used for arrangement of frequencies in different groups. For every item or unit to be included in every class group, tally bars or vertical line is put opposite the value of which it relates. For the fifth unit, a line opposite the previous four vehicle lines or horizontal lines is drawn. Thus, a sets of 5 tallies are prepared to facilitate counting of frequencies for different class groups. This method is called 4 and cross method. Then finally, number of tallies are counted and frequencies for each size or value is written against the related class group. So, such type of arrangement of frequencies for different values or groups is called frequency distribution. Frequency distribution is an arrangement of values and their frequencies. The basic factors of frequency distribution are variable and frequency. The numerical characteristics, the measurement of which is different for different persons and which fluctuate in quantity or size, are called variables. For example, height or ages of persons, income, number of children in family, wages, exports, imports, marks obtained in an examination, etc., are variables. Variables can be of two types: discrete variable and continuous variable. Discrete variables are those the values of which are certain and discontinuous, and there is a definite break from one value to another. They are usually in whole numbers. For example, number of children in a family. They can be 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. only, not in decimal points. Number of runs scored in cricket match, marks obtained by students, number of temples in cities, number of accidents, number of rooms in the house, etc. are the examples of discrete variables. On the contrary, uh, variable is that variable the value of which may be within certain limits. Continuous variable, sorry. Discrete variable we have already discussed. Continuous variable is that variable the value of which may be within certain limits. For example, the height of a student in a university may be between the range of 150 centimeter to 170 centimeters. The height of approximately all the students will be within this range. The height of student may be 160.45 centimeters. When the height of a student increases from 160 centimeter to 172 centimeter in course of time, it will pass through these two measurements. Thus, there will be continuity in measurement within certain limits. Difference shall not be certain. So, for construction of frequency distribution, first of all, unarranged raw data are put in certain order. The arrangement is called array. Array may be in ascending or descending order. Therefore, the arranged data are counted and put against suitable values or against suitable class intervals. For convenience, tallies or tellybars may be used. Discrete frequency distribution is the arrangement of frequencies according to discrete or exact values. In this case, number of items are put against every value or measurement as many times as the frequency of that value. After arranging the values of items, construction of series is made with the help of tally or tally bar. Continuous frequency distribution is based on classification according to class intervals. It is constructed with the help of continuous variable. After arraying the values of a variable in ascending or descending order, difference between the highest and the lowest values is divided by the suitable number of classes to be formed of uniform size. Number of items to be included in each class group is written against all the group with the help of tally bars. The series so constructed is called continuous frequency distribution. There are two methods of classifying data according to class intervals. First is exclusive method, another is inclusive method. Under exclusive method, class intervals are so determined that the next class. Under this method, the limits of different classes are overlapping. This method is called exclusive because the items of upper limit values are not included in that group but included in the next group. If the height of student is 155 centimeters, it will be included in 155 to 160 group and not in 150 to 155 class group. Sometimes the lower limits are excluded or lower limits are made from exclusive. Now what is inclusive method? Under this method, the lower and the upper limits both are included in that class itself. Usually there is a difference of 1 in upper limit of a class group and the lower limit of another class group. Height of students according to, suppose it is presented like this: 150 to 154, 155 to 159, 160 to 164, 165 to 169. Then 150 and a student of height 150 and 154 both are included in that class interval only. This is the difference between exclusive and inclusive methods. So I hope you all understood this class. Thank you for this class.